These thoughts up in my head, things I never did. I took some L's, but I'm still here. I got these thoughts up in my head. I toss and turn about some things I never said. I got regrets about some things I never did. I took some risks and took some L's, but I'm still here. And I know.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Overthinking Thoughts Pod. I am your host, Ed, and as always, journey with me as we are pursuing greatness in a world full of chaos. Wow, this is episode 8. We are here. You're here. Thank you for being here. I hope you had a great week. Mine got better. I know last week I was like, woo. But, we take it one day at a time. So I'm probably at like a 7 right now. It's still just building, taking it easy, just trying to maneuver my way through things and just trusting that I'm going to be in the right place at the right time, just staying faithful, obedient, and just, trusting God as I walk my walk. So I hope that you all have had a great week. I hope that if there were any hardships or anything that came your way, that you were able to find a way to positively deal with those things. And if you're still going through it, just know that not all hope is lost. You still got a purpose. You still got breath in your lungs. You're still moving. You're still seeing things. Like, you're here for a reason. And I'm grateful for that. So I thank you. And thank you to everybody who has subscribed or viewed, commented, or liked anything that I've put on social media. I appreciate the support. Continue to share it out with people that if you hear something and you feel like it might work, don't hold back on that, man. Share it out. Put it out there. What it might work. I don't know. I'm trying. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm putting this out. But you can find me Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Gmail, Spotify, OverthinkingThoughtsPod. Those are all my handles for pretty much everything. I try to keep it as simple as possible. I try not to overthink it, and I did, but we're good. Once I got it, it's simple. We're great. So I just appreciate all the support and everybody that's been reaching out, and whether you've called or texted me or sent a message, I'm just really grateful. Thank you for that. Let's see. I need a small win. I need a small win. Let me think about something. Who did I see? What did I do? I don't know. It's been big. Oh, I'll tell you a small win. Shout out to my 30 plus over basketball league. We're playing. I just think that's a win in itself, because I'll be honest with you, I can make it up and down the court about 3 times. I'd be gassed. But I know I can't give up on those guys, because that would not be good, considering the fact that I'm trying my best to be out there. So I'm just grateful that I'm still able to move at this old age. It's been, I'm not gonna put out the year, but it's been a long time since I played college basketball, like from when I started. Let's just say that there's been some court renovations and new things added on campus since I played. And I'm just gonna leave it at that, because I don't need to be thinking about how old I am. My kids make me realize that I'm very old, and that's okay. We want them to grow. But as I get home from the games and have to soak in the tub, because my body is not as young as it used to be, I'm just still grateful. Like Stuart Scott said this one time, and this definitely is not that relatable to this, but if you know Stuart Scott, he was battling cancer and he was just doing all these things to stay active. And I remember he was talking to what's her name, I think it was Robin Roberts, because she beat cancer, but he was doing like some UFC sparring or something like that, and she was asking him, because he was kind of like breathing heavy, and obviously you're a little concerned about that, and she's like, you feeling okay? And he goes, yeah. He said, I feel a little bit of pain in my chest. He said, you know what that feeling is? And she said, no. And he goes, that's purpose. It means I still got some fight in me. And I was like, wow, whoa. This man's going through it, going through battles, right? Like he's dealing with probably chemo treatments and dialysis and whatnot, and yet he's still talking about having a purpose and having a fight. And I thought that was really cool because he gave his all. And that kind of segues into what we're talking about today, which is something that I've always shared with my teams when I was coaching. I still got to do an episode about that because that was a tough decision, but it served a greater purpose. These are notes for me, but I share them with you all because it is a podcast. That episode will come at some point, but today I want to talk about 100% effort and what that means. So, set the scene. I've got kids that have played ball before. I got some kids that have never played ball before. I got kids that can shoot well, kids that can play defense well, some kids that can't do either but just show up and try their best, which I love, right? So every time we had a game, before we go out, I'm putting notes on the board. Hey, we got to box out, or hey, this team they get back and transition really well, so we got to make sure we play good defense. Just kind of going over the game plan. And then I would put on the board, like right in the middle, I just write 100% effort. And I was like, this is what I mean by 100% effort. You know what your strengths are, and you know what your limitations are. But you also know that there's things that you can control, and I want you to do that to the best of your ability. Give me 100% effort, everything else falls into place. If you give 100% effort, all of those things that you can't control will find a way to work. Or if that's not what's supposed to happen, something else will come along that will allow you to still find success, right? Like you might not be the strongest guy to box somebody out, but you got a teammate that'll come in and help you. You might not be the guy that can shoot a good shot, but they might give you a great pass for a layup, right? Like the small things, like you're giving effort and you're putting yourself out there. Man, and it was so cool to watch like how these kids would grow, man. And the seasons, we started off with a lot of games, then COVID, and then teams not having a lot of JV players and things. So we would go back and forth, but watching their confidence grow and then watching that effort come along as we would just play tough games and go against opponents that people count us out, but we would still keep fighting, like that in itself was just an amazing thing. So it goes to show that when you put your best foot forward, great things can happen. And that's what I want for you. Like I want you to, your dreams, like whatever you're pursuing, I want you to give 100% effort to it. Here's what I don't want. You get something that happens, right? Like a roadblock or something that kind of halts your progress, and then you want to quit. You want to rage quit because it got difficult. You want to be upset because it got tough. You want to turn around and do something else because it didn't go the way you wanted it to. And so you're willing to throw all that away because of a roadblock, because something, a minor inconvenience is stopping you from going after what you're supposed to go after. So you're willing to throw the whole dream away because of that? Why would you do that? Like, it makes me mad to think that, like, I've watched people who have brilliant minds and then they'll throw it all away and be like, oh man, this ain't work out, so I'm gonna just, whatever. So, like, I tell my son that, because there's moments where he'll want to give up on stuff, and I just be like, nope, I'm pushing you. And he will get so frustrated. And good. I want him to. I want him to understand, like, this ain't meant for everybody. Like, you gotta find within. And I want you to find your strength, and I want you to have your confidence to know that you're gonna give it your all. And you'll live with the results after that. Right? Like, there's been plenty of basketball games where we've had tough games and we're like, all right, cool, let's give it 100% and we're going to see what happens. And sometimes you come out on top and sometimes you might be really close. But if you gave it your all, then that leaves no doubt in people's minds that this is what you can do. It leaves no doubt in your mind that this is what you can do, regardless of the result, because you always know that you're going to give it everything. And I know that sometimes you get tired and there's moments where you feel like it's too much. That's when you just take it step by step. But the effort should never drop off. That level of intensity of wanting to go after your dreams, that should never drop off. It's the Eric Thomas quote. When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. It's not when you want to succeed when you feel like it. It's not that. It's not, well, as bad as you want to breathe, but if it gets too bad, you can step back. Nah, man. Nah, like you gotta go, you gotta give it your all, or don't give it at all, right? And I want us to have this spirit of intensity, of chasing after the dreams that are meant for us. Not other people's dreams, because you got, once again, and I keep stressing this enough, like, don't compare your path or your dream to somebody else. Don't do that, right? Don't look at somebody else's success story and wonder why you can't get there, because you don't know what they went through. And sometimes what's crazy is that you'll be so fixated on their story, not realizing that the reason they got to their point is because they saw something in you when you were going through your time, when you weren't complaining, that made them get there. Yeah, you're that powerful. Yeah, you got that. So keep going, okay? One of the cool things, like, and you got to set the tone early. And when you first start, you just have to make sure that you're like, okay, I'm dedicating myself to, like, if I always use basketball, but like, all right, let's say if I go in the gym and I say, I'm putting up foul shots and I want to shoot 100 and I want to make at least 80 of them. I'm going to go in every single day. So if the first day I only get 60, then I'm like, all right, I got to work on it. Second day, I might get 75. The third day, I might get 90. The fourth day, I might get 25. Right? Like, maybe I had a bad off day. So if that off day comes, do I quit shooting? No. I saw this Instagram clip where I think it was Andre Iguodala was talking. I forget who he was talking to. He was on a podcast, and he was talking about Steph Curry coming back from injury, and there was some game he was shooting terrible, and Draymond was sitting next to him, and he was like, "Man, Steph he got it. What is he doing?" So Steph takes another shot, and he misses. And Draymond's like, "Come on, man, Steph, you got it. You ain't shooting too good. You got to quit shooting." And Steph was like, "I'm going to keep shooting it." He said, "I'm going to keep shooting. I'm going to make it too." And like, no doubt in his mind. He's like, "I'm off, but I know who I am. Like, I know what I'm built to do, so I'm going to do that." Right? Like, yeah, he was having a bad night, but he was not discouraged over a bad shooting night. He was just like, "We going to get it back." And then I'm sure he went right to the gym right after that and put up Lord knows how many shots, right? So you'll look at that example and go, well, they make a lot of money in this, that, and the third, so they have to. No, they don't. There's a lot of people in the NBA that don't put in the effort. They got the league minimum, and they cool with the league minimum, which, I'll be honest, based on my skill set right now, I'd take a 10-day contract and get league minimum and be cool. But we're not settling. You're a superstar, so go after superstar stuff. Do that, and put forth the best effort. But you have to set the tone early. And one of the things that I'm reminded of, actually, I was reminded by one of my, 8th grade, one of my teammates reached out to me. Shout out to Derek. Derek was like, to us on the team, like, we didn't know who Steph Curry was back then, being in 8th grade, but like, Derek was our Steph Curry. It wasn't a shot that he took that we didn't think was going in. And my dad coached our 8th grade team, and you talk about effort, man. Listen, let me just tell you about some of the practices in 8th grade. Before I get into the team, let me tell you about this story. I will never, ever forget the time my dad was so mad at us. We played the game and we did not. You talk about giving effort, we probably gave 20% effort. So we in practice, and my dad's bringing it up. He was like, how can you waste the opportunity like that? You get out there on the court and then you just don't try. Like, he was so mad. And it was him and our assistant coach, and they were just like, I mean, they're chewing into us. Like, they're coming. It was intense. We had some intense practices. Like, there was not a college practice. I mean, I've had some intense college practices, but none of them really compared to a practice that my dad had. And that's saying something. That's why, like, it never really fazed me in college if we had to do, like, some crazy stuff, because I was like, man, we did this when I was like, we had already went through that, right? And so I'll never forget the time he leaves practice. We're running. We're just running back and forth up and down the court. And he was like, before he left, he told Myron, shout out to Myron, he was like, bro, make sure that they keep running. Don't stop them for nothing. And he's like, all right, cool. So we just running, we running. He comes back 10 minutes later, big white bag and a bev. And I'm like, what is he? This man went to Taco Bell. He goes to Taco Bell. He grabs a chair from the side. He walks to the middle of the court. He sits in the middle. The man had that was when Taco Bell was just giving out tacos like it was free pancakes or something. He had 10 of them. It was 10 for 10. He had 10 of them, and I'm sure he had a Baja Blast. I'm pretty sure that's what it was, or whatever it was back then, but whatever. This man proceeds to watch us run and then eats all 10 tacos. I'm savoring the tacos, take a sip of this bev, go back to the taco. And I just remember I was so angry. Because then what people fail to realize is after those practices, I got to ride home with him. And now he's sitting up here full and I'm starving. He done ate all the tacos. It ain't none left. No bev, no nothing. This man sat and ate all of them in front of us. And then had the audacity to take his time and was just like, okay, you can stop running. He was pointing people out one by one. And I'm just like, you have... The lesson in that was boy, don't waste no time. My dad was like, look, I'm not wasting time with y'all. If you don't want to do it, you ain't got to be here. And it changed the culture of what we did, man. We had the mentality. We had a one love mentality. If you know, you know, right? One family, one team, one mission to be the best, always and forever. Never forget that. That's for my squad. Everybody know who that is. So one love was a real thing. And going back to my boy Derek, there was a game we played. We were playing on the high school floor, and we were losing. We were down by 1.4 seconds. But you talk about not giving up, because most people, because they hit a shot, and the crowd's like, yeah, so we called timeout. We're like, man. Actually, before that, what happened was they ran too much time off the clock. It was 0.4. So we were discouraged. And then they put 1.4, and that gave us a little bit of hope. But even then, I think we were just kind of like, how is this going to work out? So my dad draws up this play, and we got to inbound the ball full. And so they're not pressing us, right? Which was great. I love the fact that they didn't do this. It was a bad coaching decision on their part. But Derek he starts baseline. Mind you, we're full court. He runs all the way around to the top of the key. I throw the pass in, and it was beautiful. Because I throw it, and it bounces to him, and he catches it in rhythm. Catches it, he turns, he takes a shot from 3, all net. I mean, it don't touch the rim, no nothing. And it was absolutely phenomenal. Our parents are jumping all over the place, and their team couldn't believe it, but we just had this attitude. And, that pushed us through that whole season. We ended up beating a very popular team that... at this particular school with this particular league, they had particular teams they wanted to play. And we ruined that. We got to the championship, and then we saw that they did not want a certain team from a certain neighborhood to win. Let's just put it that way. I'm being very gentle, but if you want me to be real, we were the all-black team from the inner city. They didn't want to see us win. But we came in with so much effort that they couldn't deny our talent. And that team was special because we worked hard. And we win games and we scream one love. And it didn't matter. Anybody that was affiliated with us, we would crowd the floor. We had the best team, the teamwork. Our team was phenomenal. That 8th grade team was solid. So shout out to everybody that was on that squad. Anybody who was a St. Al's Tiger. Because we were playing, man. It was beautiful. We had a good time. And just going back to that, man, just that effort that's just effort that you remember. And like him reaching out to me just made me think about just like all the practices we would have. We would do defensive slides. We're holding chairs. We're sliding across the floor, but it helped with defense. We wear gloves while we're dribbling the basketball, but it helped with how we handle the rock. We would put pressure situations. We would have drills where it was like intense, and I'm pretty sure they stole a lot of this stuff from a lot of like more like area high schools, like competitive high schools, but it prepared us for that moment. And a lot of us went to go play basketball. Like I was fortunate to get all the way to college basketball. I know some people that went and played, and some of them went overseas and things like that. So it was like we all found what worked for us, but we never lost sight of the effort that it took to get there. And that's something that I want us to remember, that like whatever you're pursuing, so right now, like whatever dream you have and you wrote it down, because I told you to write it down, and you wrote down your steps, because you're supposed to write down your steps on how you want to get there. Now it's time to put the plan into action. Like don't just stand there. Writing it down is one thing, but now you got to put in action. The same way that God tells us that faith without works is dead. So you can have faith, but if you don't activate that faith in certain or in all situations, and you're not putting yourself forward, you're not going to make it. So you have to have the effort to push through, because there's going to be times where, sure, you can be the most talented, you could be the most skilled, and a lot of times those people just try to go off their talent alone. And then they wonder why didn't I make it? You didn't have the heart or the effort to finish. You just tried to get by. And in this world, trying to get by is just going to push you to the side when somebody who works harder than you gets there. And in certain situations, I know it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. But listen, they can't knock your drive, they can't knock your hustle, they can't knock your ambition. You put forth that effort, what are they going to say to you? If they say no, then you go get it on your own and then show them that they made a mistake in not choosing you. That's the fire and the attitude we have to have when we're pursuing our dreams. Listen, I don't know how much longer this world is gonna be, or how much time we got. Like once again, we on borrowed time. So with the time that you do have, man, utilize your gift and give it everything you got. You do not want to leave this world with regret. You know what they say the average age in a cemetery is? 25. And you probably look at that and go, whoa, how? You got people in there 80, 90 years old, 60, 70. Unfortunately, some young, right? But if you average that, they say it's 25, because they say the average person only lives 25 years of their life. That's scary. Imagine if you could live to 100, and in those 100 years, you really only gave yourself 25 years of life. And the other 75, outside of being young and not knowing better, you worried, you feared, you were scared, you didn't push yourself forward. Some of these things, I get it. Being nervous, sure. Like that's just a part of life. It means you care though, because you don't want to mess up, right? But you still got to go for it. The average, 25, like it's such a small number when you think about it. And I just don't, for myself, for my kids, for my wife, for people that are in my close circle, I don't want us to settle. I don't. When I know I got brilliant minds around me, and I know that we can be greater than what we are right now, I want us to get that effort. I know we've fallen short sometimes. I know. And I know that hurts because we want everything done perfectly. Like, looking back, you look at mistakes, and like where you get caught up is you're looking at it from a mature mind rather than a mind that you had before. So it's easy to point out all of the things that you didn't know back then. And then it's easy to beat yourself up over it, because now you know better and you feel like, oh man, that was stupid. I could have done this or done that. Did you learn? Did you grow? Did you forgive? Did you do all those things? Because if you did, now it's time to go. Put forth the effort. You see people who are reformed, like, and they're doing things that they love to do now, and then you go back and look and you go, wait, you did what? How'd you get? It's that faith, and it's that determination to make it. I don't know what your ultimate goal in life is. I don't know what your passion is, but you do. You know what you want to do. You know what your passion is. You know how hard you want to work. You know how determined you are. So go after it. Put that effort up there, man. Like, every motivational speaker will tell you to go after it. What you waiting on? And if you're waiting for something, go back to episode 1. What are you waiting for? That's what I set the tone with, because I did that for me. So that way, if I ever was like, I don't know if I can do the podcast, I'll go back to that. And you can't deny yourself telling yourself to go after it. It's hard to do. I have to watch that. I got it. It's documented. So now I got to go twice as hard, because I can't give up on myself. And the other thing I can't do is give up on my kids, because now my oldest son wants to look into podcasting. That right there, come on, man. If I would have never put it out, would he ever think about it? And so, that's something that me and him will discuss moving forward. And who knows, maybe you'll see us together on a future podcast, talking sports, laughing, joking, and just sharing in this thing. You just never know. It's dope, though. And it happened because I finally decided to give this everything I got. Man, and that, like, in this moment, just thinking about that, it makes me really proud. It didn't really hit, like, when it was first talked about, but that makes me proud. So who knows? Down the road, we'll see what happens. But it doesn't happen if I don't put forth the effort to do this. And your dreams don't happen if you don't put forth the effort in your life to get there. Y'all some talented people, man. You yourself, you're a very talented person. You're a creative person. You have an amazing mind. You have a beautiful mind full of beautiful ideas. And now it's time to put those ideas out. And now it's time to go chase after what was meant for you. Living your purpose. Find your dreams. Write your dreams. And then live them out. Because if you just keep sleeping on it, then that's all they'll ever be. You feel what I'm saying? Go after it, man. Put forth the effort. That's what I want. I want to see us shine. I do. And if we don't, then the last thing I want you to do is get to a point in your life where you feel like it's too late, and then you talk about what could have been. When you could easily just start today and build from there. Might not, it ain't gonna happen overnight. I got that. But start somewhere. And then when you do, put forth ultimate effort. 100% effort. Everything else falls into place. If our 8th grade basketball team doesn't put forth 100% effort, do we grow and get all the way to the championship game like we did? Do we then pursue things in our lives that we want? Like, think about that. For us to be able to reminisce on that moment and think about how hard we worked, there shouldn't be anything in life that holds us back or takes us away from it. And I know anxiety and nerves and stuff like that's out there, but if that younger me had that much fight and determination to go after it, the older me should be able to build off of that and go even greater. Man, give the effort. It might not be perfect. Just try. See what happens. If it don't work, that means that there's something greater for you. If it does work, keep going. And then use that to motivate others to chase after what they're doing. I just want us to be successful. I want us to do well. And more importantly, I want us to not live with any regrets. We got this beautiful life, and we are purposely filled with ideas that will help benefit those around us and benefit the world for the greater good. It's time to go after that. All right? 100% effort. Everything else falls into place. Whew, that felt good. Shout out to the One Love crew again, man. But anyway, I think that's all I got for this episode. Make sure you like and subscribe. Once again, YouTube, Spotify, TikTok, Instagram, Anchor. Hit us up, OverthinkingThoughtsPod. Feel free to like, subscribe, comment, all those good things. And yeah, we'll keep pushing. We'll come back with more episodes, more ideas. If you got ideas, if you got things that you want to hear on the podcast, man, hit me up. Whether Instagram, Gmail, TikTok, whatever, I'm available. This podcast sometimes when I mention things makes me feel like, I can't believe I'm talking about that. But I'm just grateful to have a platform, and I'm just gonna keep pushing and doing what I do best. So that's where I'm at right now. God bless y'all. Thank y'all for y'all support. Thank you for the messages that you sent. I really appreciate it. And I'm just glad that y'all rocking with it. So keep sharing, keep subscribing, keep pushing, keep believing in yourself, stay motivated, give forth that 100% effort, all right? Remember, I believe in you. Now go believe in yourself. Be great today and all days, all right? I'm your host, Ed. This is Overthinking Thoughts Pod. We out.